Yeah, just like with every decision, we look at, you know, the full body of work, evaluate our guys. Production goes into that, and felt like it was the best decision for the team to move forward with the guys that we have in the room to help us win a football game.
How tough are those decisions? You know, you get the guy like Cole, who's a true professional, does things the right way, but you have to do, like you said, what's best for the team.
Yeah, tough. I mean, and Colt's awesome. You know what I mean? He's a true pro. That's why he's played so long. You know, having gone through this process in a different seat a lot of times is a little bit different today because it's hard. You know what I mean? You know that they care. They put a lot of sacrifice and hard work into their craft. And but, you know, ultimately, I think if you're honest with them and they appreciate that and they know that, you know, we're going to do what we have to do to try to do what's best for the team. So, but, yeah, these are tough days.
How did y'all reach this decision to release Cole? What didn't he show you in camp?
I don't think it's anything that he didn't show us. I think it was just, you know, like I said, looking at OTAs and then training camp and the games and just, like I said, the full body of work. We just feel like this is the best way to go.
When did you let him know? Did you let him know before Saturday?
No, today.
How far are you along in the process of getting to that 53-man roster?
We're getting there. So we made some transactions today. We'll make some transactions in the morning. That's kind of the timetable that the NFL lays out, and then we'll get to that spot I think on Wednesday, and then go from there. But it's always the roster is always in flux. You know what I mean? So you never know. And even talking to some guys today, you never know when you could be back up and playing. So you know, that's a very fluid thing, you know, your 53-man roster and the practice squad spot. So they understand that.
You guys have a fairly comfortable feeling on what Joshua Dobbs can bring, considering that you're going to have to make all these moves without getting him on the practice field yet?
Yeah.
From here until week one, is it a competition between Josh and Clayton, or is one, do you know who your starter is going to be?
Yeah, I think we got a plan in place, but I want to see them both play football still. This week we got some work, and then the following week we got some work, but I feel good where we're at.
How's the schedule this week, Coach? Where are you in terms of the rest of the week with the players?
Yeah, so we have walkthrough tomorrow, then we're going to work on Wednesday and Thursday, and then they'll be off on the weekend. We'll get a bonus Monday in. That'll be Washington-based, and then they're off their normal day Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, travel on Friday night. And then Saturday we're in D.C. We'll do our mock game there because it's the 3-hour time change there, and then play Sunday.
How easy will it be for Josh just to kind of slide in?
I mean, it's never easy for a new guy coming to a new team, but he's familiar with the system. He's familiar with Drew and and we feel good where he's at with that.
What has Drew and Iz said about him so far?
Say it again, Tyler.
What have they said about him so far, just having worked with him?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not going to bring Monty and I aren't going to bring anyone in here that the character doesn't check out first. He's extremely intelligent, character's through the roof. He's actually a guy that we looked at signing in the offseason, so we kind of did a lot of work on him back then. And when it became available, the transaction became available, we decided to make the move.
How does his skill set fit the system?
Say it again.
How does his skill set fit the system, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, he's a mobile guy that understands the system, but he's a mobile guy that can make throws and play in the pocket and play outside of the pocket. So that's what we're looking for.
Can you say what kind of before we start the year on the puck list?
We'll see. Yeah, he's somewhere. Yeah, I think so.
Well, will it be open competition between Clayton and Joshua?
Yeah, every spot's open competition.
In terms of that, when could it go until the end of next week before you decide who the starting quarterback?
Yeah, I think we got a pretty good plan in place, but I want to see them, both go through the next 2 weeks. But I think that how the plan that we have to evaluate that and to get that done and the team knowing the why behind it, I think they're comfortable with it, but feel good about where it's at.
When it comes to Josh, how valuable is it to have a guy in the quarterback room that is familiar with Drew and his system, who almost serving as a second coach, where you can say, look, this is the why, and it's coming from a different voice?
Yeah, I think it's very valuable. It's, any position is hard to come in and play right away, and guys do it all across the league. That's what the NFL is, especially when you get banged up and things like that later in the year. But I think just his familiarity of the system, the verbiage, those two guys that are really the main guys coaching him, I think that obviously helps him a lot.
Is it possible you guys leave for Washington without having named a starter, or will you know by Friday or whenever?
Well, I'm not going to name a starter because I think it's a competitive advantage for us going to Washington, but we'll know who the starter is.
Do you have an update on John Gaines and Dennis Daly?
Yeah, going through medical still right now with those two guys. They both got nicked, so still kind of evaluating where that's at.
How much did Colt's elbow affect his ability or his game?
I mean, he went through all OTAs and training camp, practiced every day, so.
How different is it for you as a head coach as when you were a position coach, you would have to help the guys through this process of being cut? Now as a head coach, what's that experience like?
A little bit of the same, but I think explaining to those guys a little bit of the why behind it, a little bit more than a position coach does, But it's honestly very similar conversation, you know what I mean? You thank them because the guys that were here that went through training camp have the right fabric, what you're looking for, and, their next call's coming.
What's the process like going down to 53 with you and Monty? Is it all of you guys conversing on all the guys, or just him and his staff doing their work and coming to you?
Yeah, when did I get hired? February 14th, so right now, every day. Every day.
You said you think so with Kyler. Is there still a sense of hope that he's not going to be, or that he will be activated?
No, I think he's going to start on one of those two lists. So.
If he does start on the pup list, can't practice for 4 weeks, does that affect his rehab at all in your opinion?
No, it's kind of like what he's been doing right now. He's got a plan that's football related, and he's got a plan that's rehab related, and both are important. But obviously, the plan that's most important right now is his health. So when we structure his day and his week and this last month with him, we plan accordingly for that.
What is it, the progress? Is he doing better? Is he?
He's doing great.
These preseason games were your first taste of coaching as a head coach when you have someone like Jeff Rogers who's been around and seen a lot. How much did you rely on him?
Yeah, I lean on him a lot. I lean on him throughout a lot of decisions that I make and run by different people. He helps me a lot. He's been around a lot of staffs, a lot of good head coaches, in my opinion. And I always ask him, where are my blind spots, Jeff? And he's very candid with me. And he's honest, and he communicates very effectively. He's helped me a lot.
What kind of growth have you seen from Greg Dortch over the offseason?
Consistency. We know he can play. It's can you play, every play and be consistent with what we're asking him to do. I like where his game's at.
With the new rule this year, have you made a decision yet on whether there'll be a third quarterback?
We're still sorting through it.
Any update on Garrett Williams?
He's doing well. He's going to start on NFI, I think.
How's his mental? I know that he was trying to get back.
Awesome. He's doing great. He, for a rookie that's hasn't been able to practice, the same thing, Bob, that you asked about Kyler. He has his plan daily and weekly and monthly of health and football, knowing that health's most important. But we've put a lot on his plate, and he's responded well.
You had Jesse Luketa all over the field, on every side of the ball. What does he bring to the team, both on the field and off the field?
Yeah, well, off the field, I would say he's a team-first guy, and on the field, he's a team-first guy. He puts himself behind the team, which I love about him. That's what's expected, but he does truthfully do that. And then you're looking to see, when you take whoever has a jersey on game day, what roles can they serve? So I thought he did a really good job with that.
Did you have a sense of how Colt took the news?
Yeah, I delivered the news to him.
How do you respond, in your opinion?
Yeah, I'll keep that between us, but, like a pro. That's what Colt is.
It's not ideal if Dobbs ends up being your guy for whatever reasons, that you'd start a season without a guy who's taking a snap or you in a preseason game or training camp. How can it work if that ends up being the case?
I trust in what we're doing is to be the best thing for the team. That's how it would work.
BJ got a few snaps. What'd you make of his game?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. He was on a little bit of a pitch count to make sure that he got in there, lathered up and play a little bit. Thought he did pretty good.
You see yourself using a fullback in the offense?
Yeah, if it makes sense that's what we got to try to do to attack the defense, yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys.